Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 5th of April 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts that we've covered this morning, see how did we get along, and of course, before we start looking at those, let's have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one we'll have a look at is the Dow. Now, of course, as you probably are following the news, we did get the US and Canadian employment figures already, so looking at the cash index of Dow and looking at where the index closed yesterday, so we can see that we're going to have a nice gap here, opening gap to the upside. So currently Dow is sitting around the 26,450 zone, so that's not a full 100 points here above the yesterday's close. So basically what we're going to do here is, of course, we're going to continue targeting the 26,550 level that I was talking about, this one in one of my previous videos, and that level here acted as a very good area of support here back on the 8th of October. Good area of resistance here. Got held, the price got held, and kind of from there it slid lower all the way here down towards these December lows. But of course, if this 26,550 level gets broken, now this is where, of course, it's going to start getting even more interesting for the bulls, because to be honest, this could be opening the path back towards the all-time high, which was around the 26,950 zone, so approximately there, basically. It's like I said, the gateway here could be this this break here, the gateway towards higher levels could be this break above the 26,550 level. The only thing is, of course, don't forget, we do have some little small obstacles in the way here, like for example the high of the 5th of October, which is just near, just slightly above that level that I was just talking about, and it's around the 26,675 zone, 80, something like that, approximately there. So check out your charts, and that's the area that I'm talking about is the high of the 5th of October. So basically, if these two levels get broken, now of course this could be a very good chance for the bulls kind of to revisit the all-time high again, or maybe even have a bit of an overshoot here. So let's see how this is going to play out. First, of course, for now, from the very short-term perspective, we are kind of looking further north here, initially aiming for the 26,550 level, and then we'll just see how it wants to perform around there, if it wants to break it to the upside or not. But I mean, for now, the kind of looking at the cash index, everything's looking quite positive. It's of course reacting to the good data here that came out. So yep, let's see how this is going to perform later on today. Jumping into GBPUSD now, of course, the US dollar is getting a nice boost, and you can see this by some of these pairs like the GBPUSD. Of course, we do have the slightly weaker pound. But all this combinations basically, all this combination managed to drive the pair below its little short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 29th of March. And of course, now the path is holding towards the downside. Initially, we will target the 1.3015 zone, but if that fails to withhold, the better target for us is this one around here, around the 129.75 zone. So basically below the psychological 130 level. So of course, keep your eyes on this one. This level here previously acted as a good support on the 29th of March. So for now, as if if this pair continues to trade below the upside support line, yep, we will target slightly lower areas, at least initially here, but if those fail to withhold, then we'll just take it from there and see how it's performing further on. For now, we are more bearish than bullish on this one, as long as it remains above this tentative upside support line. In terms of the upside, we will start looking at higher levels if we see a nice good push above today's highs, which were near the 131.25 zone. If that gets broken, yep, we could then target the 130.150. But let me just shift this highlighted area here. Now this is going to be the more important level to watch here, around the 132 zone. So basically, initially, like I said, if we see a nice good push above the 131.25 zone, yep, we will start targeting these higher areas, at least up until the 132 zone. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Very interesting developments here, and let's see how this is going to play out further. Euro dollar slightly performing slightly better than the pound, so against the US dollar, of course. So we'll have a look at the Euro GBP after this, and you probably understand now how it's going to be shaping up. So basically, the Euro dollar had a nice push here to the upside, managed to reach the 112.50 level, but kind of failed to break above it. And now, of course, it's going to continue trading within this little range here between the 112.05 and the approximately there, yes, 1.1205 and the 1.1250. So we're going to continue observing these two levels, because if we see a drop below the 1.1205 level, now of course this is where we will aim for the low here that we saw around the 2nd of March, sorry, 2nd of April. That's approximately around the 1.1190. And but if that fails to withhold, then yep, further declines could be possible, at least towards the 1.1175 zone, which was the low of March. And if that fails to withhold, yep, further declines are possible. But then again, there are some good levels here of support. Again, initially keep an eye on this 1.1205 area, approximately there. If that gets broken, then our next targets are the 1.1190 and the 1.1175 initially. So keep your eyes on this. And jumping into EURGBP now, this is what I was talking about. So basically, EURGBP, this morning I was talking about this one, and I was telling you guys to keep an eye on this potential area of support here near the 0.8550. So it didn't kind of quite reach that level, but rebounded from around the 0.8555 zone, so approximately there. So had a nice rebound and pushed higher. So managed to break some of these key resistance levels that I was talking about. And I was also telling you guys to keep an eye on the 200 EMA, where the pair is currently bouncing around, and it's currently sitting here probably in anticipation of the next big catalyst that could drive it. Certainly, of course, if this gets broken, we could see this one traveling further up here. Don't get me wrong, we could see, of course, something like this that we had here back on the 29th of March and also on the 21st of March. We could see a push higher, but then kind of a fail to push higher, and then a reversal back to the downside. That's why what we're going to do here is we're going to take a little bit of a more of a cautious approach here, and we're going to keep an eye on this level right here near the 0.8650 level, approximately there. So basically, if we do get a nice push above this, now this is where it could become a little bit more exciting for the bulls. We could see then the next potential target getting hit near the 0.87 zone, and of course, if that fails to withhold, yep, further acceleration to the upside could be possible. But for now, guys, all eyes are on the 200 EMA. Certainly, this is looking quite bullish for now. Let's see if the bulls have enough steam to drive this one towards the 0.8650 level. Let's see what it wants to do about that. This is, of course, for now, this is our target. Like I said, we are slightly more bullish than bearish on this one, but again, we need to see a confident move away from this 200 EMA here. So a nice, good, strong move here could be useful for the bulls. We could then they could then target this the 0.8650 level. In terms of the downside, well, if this suddenly drops below the 0.8595 zone, approximately there, certainly this could increase the chances for the pair to slide a little bit lower. The only thing is that you could still take a more cautious approach here and start looking to the downside if we see a move towards the 0.8555 zone again, and if that fails to withhold, now this is where it could become a little bit more exciting for the bears. We could see a slide towards the 0.8530 then, and this is the break that we would be looking for in order to kind of consider further declines, at least in the near term, where we could then target the 0.8473 zone, which acted as a very good area of support here back on the 13th and the 11th of March. But again, one more time, I'll repeat myself. Certainly for now, we're more bullish than bearish on this one. It's kind of a bit of a long way here for the pair to do. Let's say today, maybe this is something for next week. But again, it's currently sitting next to its 200 EMA. Let's see what it wants to do around there. If it wants to push further up or not. USDJPY had a nice push, basically this is what we're looking for here now. So we're going to continue staying neutral on this one here, because certainly on one hand it continues to climb higher, but you can see that it failed to drive above this 111.85 level that I was talking about this morning, and this was our target for in the morning video. So I was talking about this level here, guys. So we've almost managed to reach that area. Just fell shy of a few pips of hitting that 111.85 zone, and now you can see that it's retracing back down. For us, let's say, to start looking at the downside, at least in the near term, we would like to see a drop below the 111.50 level first, and only then we will target lower areas like the 111.15 or even this tentative upside support line. So basically, that's why for now, until the pair is stuck here in this little range here between these two levels, the 111.50 and the 111.85 on the upside, so we're going to remain somewhat neutral and continue waiting for that possible break here, either through the upper side or through the lower side here. So keep your eyes on this one, and let's see how this is going to play out. USDCAD, now this one is a very interesting one. Also this morning I was telling you guys to watch out for this 133.75 zone, 73, something like that, approximately there. So we had a nice pop here to the upside. Certainly it's now sitting next to its R2, which is around the 133.95. The pair managed to travel all the way here towards the 134.05 zone. I was talking about this one as well as the next potential target here if we see a push above the 133.75. Of course, looking at this picture for now, we remain somewhat bullish here on this one. Our target here, if we see this one continue, if we see the continuation here to the upside here, and if we see another retest of the 134.05 level, eventually we could see a break of that one. And if we do see a break now, I mean, there could be a very big chance for the pair to travel all the way here to retest the 134.45 level. I was mentioning this one in this morning as well. This area here acted as a very good area of resistance back here on the 28th of March, and also held the rate from pushing higher on the 22nd of March. So very important level here this one becomes. But again, for now, of course, it is trying to climb higher. If we see a nice good push above the 134.05, this, like I said, this could increase the chances for this one to travel further up here. Like I said, let's go step by step. Let's not rush into this one. It's still kind of trying to find its way here. If suddenly, let's say, this decides to drop by the end of the day and closes, let's say, closes the daily candle or even the weekly candle, closes below the 133.73-75 zone, now this is where the bulls should probably take a bit of a cautious stand, and because this could potentially lead towards further declines here within this little range that the pair kind of has been trading here between the 29th of March and today. So we could continue seeing the this pair traveling here, or should I say ranging here between these two levels, the 133 on the downside and the 133.73-75 on the upside. If, like I said, but that's only in the scenario if we see a close below let's say the weekly candle closing below this level here, the 133.73. So next week we could see USDCAD kind of again ranging here within between these two levels. And for us, let's say to start looking at the downside, well, we need to see a drop below the 133 level first before we could consider a move towards the 132.45 zone, which was marked here by the low of the 19th of March, or even actually further down here towards this upside support line, this long-term upside support line that has been running here from February last year. So keep your eyes on this one, but then again, we will consider lower levels only if we see a drop below the 133 zone. For now the pair is kind of stuck here above the 133.73. It's currently balancing around its R2, which is around the 1.3393 level. Certainly looking at this picture at this point in time, it is looking more positive. Keep your eyes on this 134.05. If we do see a nice push above this, then yep, it could increase the chances for the USDCAD to travel all the way here towards the 134.45 level. So keep your eyes on this one, and let's see how this is going to play out. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend, guys, and I'll see you on Monday at my Traders Espresso, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, see you later, guys, and have a nice weekend. Bye bye.